Hello and welcome back to De-Stressing the Holidays, how to move from bah humbug to ho ho ho. Once again, this is Dr. Geri Puleo with Change Management Solutions, and today's final lesson focuses on holiday survival tips at work. Now, previously, we talked about what caused holiday stress and how you can spot it, as well as what to do to de-stress at home. Now, I'm going to provide you with 27 proactive tips, techniques, and strategies to decrease work-related stress during the holidays. Once again, we'll be focusing on the 4 key areas of holiday stress: money, people, or in this case, your coworkers, health, and time. Once again, money is one of the biggest stressors for employees. So when it comes to the holidays and holiday gift giving, set a budget and make sure it's a low maximum spend for each one of the gifts. Now, one of the problems that I've found is that people sometimes resent the holiday gift swaps because they may get someone they don't like, or their budget is really tight, and to buy a gift for a coworker, especially when it has a higher value, can take things away from their own family. So instead of focusing on the value of the gift, start focusing on having fun instead. For example, the holiday gift can be trying to find the ugliest decoration, or it can be a re-gift swap. So each one of the employees can give another employee a gift that they got that they no longer want. Or you can have a white elephant party. This is where people bring in second-hand items. So in other words, there's no money spent on it. And each individual employee opens the gift, and then the next employee opens his or her gift and can decide whether they want to keep it or they want to steal a gift from somebody else. It sounds kind of crazy, but I've been involved with these types of things and they are fun. Because again, that should be the focus, not on, ooh, what did you get another employee and how much did you spend? So focus on the fund, and if you have a budget, make sure that it's a low amount that can be afforded by the lowest level of employee who is engaging in it. For example, the CEO might think that a $50 maximum spend is nothing, but to someone who is an hourly worker, $50 can be the difference between having a turkey for the holidays or not. Also, try negotiating company discounts. Get your employees to shop local by negotiating discounts with stores in the area, stores that are around your company's location. It's great for community involvement, and it's an additional perk that is often appreciated by employees. When it comes to money, you can also offer workshops and webinars because maintaining finances stresses out about 60% of workers. So that's the majority of your colleagues who are stressed out by finances. When a company provides training on budgets and finances and creating wealth for their employees, this takes it out of the realm of workshops and webinars that are just related to the job. But instead, it takes the focus on, we want you to be happy, we want you to be satisfied in work and outside of work. And remember, the most wanted and easiest gift that you can give your employees is the gift of time. Try closing early before the holiday, and why not try opening late after the holiday? This shows that you care about the employees and that you understand and respect the lives that they have outside of work. Because remember, a happy employee is a de-stressed employee, and a de-stressed employee is a productive employee. Now, dealing with coworkers during the holidays can also be a stressor. And remember that sensitivity matters. Not everyone follows the Judeo-Christian faith. So if you have non-Judeo-Christian employees, make sure that you respect their traditions and their obligations. The focus should be on inclusion and curiosity about the diversity of religious beliefs. Don't just say that you respect other traditions and obligations of employees during the holidays to be politically correct. Don't do that. Instead, focus on including them. And if you're curious about how they celebrate, this shows greater respect, and this can really help build team morale within the organization. Express gratitude to the people that you work with, either your coworkers and colleagues, your bosses, or your subordinates. A thank you doesn't cost a fortune. And to appreciate and make sure that if you're an employer that you're appreciating those employees who are scheduled to work during the holidays. About 32% of employees actually do this. And if you're going to say thank you, or do something nice for them, perhaps have Santa come in with unexpected gifts for the employees who actually work during the holidays, or maybe you have a lunch catered into them. This shows that you care, but make sure that whatever you give them, along with this thank you, or however you show your gratitude, make sure that it's something nice that the employees actually want and appreciate. I heard a story once that an organization wanted to thank all their employees for the hard work that they did during the holidays, and they went around and gave each employee a gift. It was a keychain. A keychain, a $1 item that the company had bought for the employees. Well, obviously it backfired because it wasn't necessarily something that the employees would appreciate. So saying thank you and expressing your gratitude for employees needs to be heartfelt, and it needs to be honest. Because let's face it, we can spot someone who's just going through the motions of saying thank you a mile away. Try going tech free. Now, this is interesting when dealing with people. So limit the number of emails that coworkers can send to each other after regular office hours. Studies have shown that the use of technology actually boosts your adrenaline levels. And as we talked about way in the very first lesson of this course, adrenaline boosts your fight or flight response. So if you want to unwind, you need to unplug. As a company, you can help employees unplug and by saying that there's a time cutoff when emails can be sent. You don't want coworkers sending emails to each other on Christmas Day or at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And to go one step better, go tech free and limit the number of emails after office hours, not just during the holiday, but throughout the entire year. You'll be amazed at how it de-stresses your employees. And it's also easier to de-stress if you join together with other employees. So try to sponsor support groups. They can be informal because support groups are found by 41% of employees to help in their motivation to not only stay healthy, but to decrease their stress levels. Now, you can do this through your company intranet by helping employees find members of the support groups and then connect and stay connected with them. But this is something that focuses on employee well-being, which is critical to de-stressing not only the holidays, but also the entire work year. Similar to dealing with people stressors in the at-home survival tips, think as a company about ways that you can volunteer and connect with the community. Perhaps during the holidays you have a corporate volunteer day where all of your employees go down to a soup kitchen. Or if you have a large workforce, you can have specific days set aside so that employees can volunteer on that day. I would suggest that you still pay them for that time because, after all, they are representing your organization within the community. So don't have a volunteer day and then say you're not going to get paid for that time that you're volunteering. It kind of defeats the whole purpose. You can also do on-site charities for donations of clothes and toys, or you can create an online company group where employees can pool their donations and give it to the charity of their choice. The big thing with volunteering is that it increases meaning. Many employees can feel quite isolated during the holidays. This is particularly true of workaholics. So, encouraging and supporting the efforts of employees to volunteer in the community increases a sense of meaning, increases a sense of value, increases the sense of inclusion within the organization. And it's a great antidote for those employees who are feeling the holiday blues and isolated during the holidays. Now, you might not think of your employer as being somewhat responsible for your health during the holidays, but there is a huge trend and push for overall holistic employee well-being. Studies have shown that healthy employees not only is the utilization rate for health insurance and medical benefits lower, but also they tend to be more committed, more creative, and more productive. So here are 7 ways that employers can help employees avoid leisure sickness and be healthy and happy during the holidays. There are things that are better than caffeine. As we mentioned before, there's a lot of stressors and time commitments uh, during the holidays, and many people resort to caffeine. What if, as an employer, you offered midday exercise for all your employees? And during that exercise time, you don't talk about work. You're just focusing on the exercise and having a good time. Now, some people say that, well, 20 minutes, I can't afford to do that. My employees have to work. But studies have shown that exercising in the middle of the day, think about that 2:30 slump in the afternoon, instead of reaching for caffeine, have employees move. You'll find that when they come back, it's about a 23% increase in productivity. So that's a pretty good return on the investment of helping employees to move and exercise during the day to release stress. Just 20 minutes. They can walk on a treadmill or they can walk outside. But a simple 20 minutes has been found to reduce anxiety in employees. Not only is their productivity increased, but so is their creativity. And if you can have them get outside when they do this walking, it's even better. Make sure that you have healthy holiday snacks. Now, I know I keep talking about holiday cookies. Yes, they are my Achilles heel. But having healthy and flavorful options available to employees can really help. And if you want to go into a bottom line corporate reason to have healthy, flavorful options, if your employees are eating way too much sugar during the holidays, it has a physical effect. It causes cognitive impairment. And cognitively impaired employees are not going to be productive and they're not going to be able to performing at the level that you want them to. So make sure that you provide healthy, flavorful options for them. Also, with holiday parties, make sure that you limit the amount of alcohol. Offer lighter options and also consider calling an Uber or cabs for employees who overindulge. Not only can you potentially avoid legal liability if anything would happen if one of your employees drank too much and then got behind the wheel of a car and had an accident, but it also shows that you genuinely care about your employees. So make sure that you limit the alcohol consumption. In terms of health, help your employees to cope with the stressors of the holidays. You can do this by providing tools or on-demand resources for them, conducting stress seminars, giving them checklists and ideas, anything that you can think of to help them cope with the stress over the holidays will not only make them happier and less anxious, but it will also help produce your organization's overall productivity and quality. And also, if employers are really having a difficult time with the holidays, remind them that EAP or employee assistance programs may be available to them. This is usually found by 39% of employers. But perhaps one of the best health-related survival tips that an employer can give to an employee is to create sacrosanct, stress-free zones. Teach employees how to mindfully meditate. Create a stress-free zone, a room that is quiet. Perhaps it has aromatherapy, calming music. In other words, create a room where all of their senses can be used to help them de-stress. Mindful meditation will increase employee anxiety by upwards of 70%. And less stressed employees are less likely to get into arguments with employees or clients, are more likely to be productive and energized, and if you have all of this going on, they're going to be less likely to turn over. And we finally get to the fourth area of holiday stressors, which is time. And there are many things that employers can do to help de-stress the holidays for employees in terms of time. First of all, any holiday events that you have should be during normal business hours. Surprisingly, only about 51% of employers engage in this practice. If you expect employees to come to a holiday gathering outside of work hours, you might, instead of creating holiday cheer, instead create stress for employees because it's taking time out of their personal lives to do something work related. Also, again, sensitivity matters. Make sure that you recognize that some of your employees may not be of the Judeo-Christian faiths. So when you're doing the decorations or the foods or even any of the festivities that are associated with your holiday event, make sure that you're sensitive to how it might be responded to by employees who are not of the Judeo-Christian faiths. And also, when it comes to these holiday events, if you insist on having them outside of normal business hours, attendance should be optional. Having mandatory attendance at a corporate holiday event is nothing more than a stressor for many employees. They don't want to go, but they go because they have to have face time in front of other people within the company. So if you're going to have a holiday event outside of normal business hours, the attendance should be optional, which is another good reason to have any type of a holiday event during normal business hours. Remember once again that time is the best gift that you can give employees. Before the holiday, perhaps give an afternoon off for all workers so that they can handle their holiday responsibilities. Or give them paid time off, particularly the day before as well as the day after Christmas. Very, very much appreciated by workers. Another idea in terms of helping employees save time is to offer a gift wrapping service. Make sure that it's free, but you can have possibly volunteers from scout troops or other nonprofit organizations come in and wrap gifts for the employees. This is a great perk and a great benefit for employees, and it saves time for them outside of the office. And once again, ban email outside of office hours. Do this during the holidays as well as throughout the years. The decreases in stress can be really measurable. The other thing in terms of time is to try to banish multitasking from your workplace. Instead, focus on the priorities that you need your employees to achieve. There have been numerous studies that have found that anytime an employee multitasks, instead of becoming more productive because they're working on several projects at once, they actually become less productive. In fact, it's a 40% loss in productivity. So focus instead on the major priorities during the holidays. Again, recognize that your employees have lives outside of the workplace, and those lives also have demands. So work-life balance is critical during the holidays as well as throughout the year. So when we talk about realistic work-life balance, the key here is to plan ahead. Any work-related deadlines that occur during the holiday, plan ahead for them and check for their priority as well as their importance. If you just have a random deadline for a project that really doesn't need to be completed, let's say in the second half of December, push it back to January, and definitely not the first day that employees get back to work after the holidays. But plan ahead and adjust and be flexible on deadlines that are really not urgent, a priority, or important. So what does this lead to? Lighten up. During the holidays, focus on what you enjoy about the workplace, what you enjoy about the work, what you enjoy about being with your colleagues. Take that nose to the grindstone mentality and put it on vacation. The holidays are a time for expressing gratitude and enjoying yourself. And as an employer, you are in a fantastic spot to help employees lighten up not only at work, but also at home. So, the number one way to de stress the holidays focuses on making time for what really matters. And the way you do that is by adjusting your expectations. This works at home as well as in the workplace. So, here are a couple final tips to help you adjust your expectations. Keep a long-term perspective by relaxing every day. The holidays will eventually pass. It's not the end of the world if you don't get everything done. Learn how to relax. And one of the best ways to relax is to simply breathe. 40 deep breaths every day have been shown to significantly decrease your feelings of anxiety and stress. And if you have 40 deep breaths, again, breathe from the diaphragm, expand outwards, and really relax into it. You will be amazed at the difference that you feel. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, silly. Don't try to put too many things or have too many expectations or deadlines for either yourself or your employees during the holiday. Keep it simple so that they can make time for what really matters. And remember, no one can do it all. If you're doing too much, you are not going to enjoy the holidays. You'll be too stressed, too cranky, too frustrated, too angry, and too exhausted to really enjoy the holidays. And instead, focus on the experience and the relationships. That's probably what this holiday season means for at its root for everyone. It's not the stuff that matters. It's the people in your lives and the experiences and the relationships that you have with them. And remember, love and stress can only tenuously exist together. So finally, I'm going to quote from the infamous Ben and Jerry's, which gives some great ideas on how to finally move from bah humbug to ho ho ho. If it's not fun, then why do it? Happy holidays.